we deleted some of the recycle will be like one of the objects under it can be searched and it will be under one of the objects here under the app launcher. Sorry.
Vignesh, just make sure the recording is on. I think I press the recording. Just please make sure.
Yeah. Okay, I have resumed the recording. Sorry, thanks. Okay, you can, as you can see, you can access the recycle bin from the app launcher, and the recycle bin, there are two views mostly. My recycle bin and org recycle bin. Org recycle bin contains all the data deleted by all the users in your org. And my recycle bin contains only the data which are deleted related to you, deleted by you. And you can select a record and we can select whether restore it. The lead gets restored, or you can delete the data, permanently delete the data. And empty org recycle bin it's like completely cleaning the slate of the org in the recycle bin. Okay, this is the only thing I missed showing you last time. So next, what we are going to do is matching and duplication rule. Salesforce, every user does not, main concern is they do not want to enter the same user's data again and again. Like a person may be a lead a certain amount before a certain amount of time, you may have left it, he may be as a lead in the org, and another Salesforce, another user may try to create the same user as a lead, same customer as lead, which will not throw an error in Salesforce for normal, but we can make sure if certain conditions match, then the error must be thrown for the duplication of a same customer type. Like there is a campaign going on and a lead name Mahendran is coming in, and sales rep 1 add him as a lead in the Salesforce org. Now Salesforce rep 2 meets him separately, and he thinks that Mahendran will be a good lead, and he also tries to org without checking whether already Mahendran is present in the org or not. So when the sales rep 2 tries to add the Mahendran as a lead, the duplicate rule and matching rule may be used to throw an error to sales rep 2 that this user is already in the org. You may use this existing user, or there is certain functionality which allows the user to ignore the warning message and create the lead as new lead in the org. Like if the same, if Mahendran mentioned by sales rep 1 is different from Mahendran mentioned by sales rep 2, then we can ignore that and we can load it. That's how we can proceed. And not only based on name, we can leave out the name, and based on their email ID, customer's email ID or customer's source account lead source, or based on their company name also, the duplicate functionality may fire. We may modify the functionality to our requirements. Matching and duplicating rules. Matching rule is which are the fields to be considered for the duplication rule. Like for a lead, whether we should consider first name and last name, or whether we should consider email and company name can be mentioned in the matching rule. Once the matching rule is activated, we can create a duplicate rule, and in the duplicate rule, we can mention we can mention how the leads must be checked and whether the new lead coming in must be checked using the duplicate rule or not. I'll show you a demo once this is over, so that you can have a better understanding of it. And duplicate rules support a cross object. Like I have created a duplicate rule for contact, and I can map it to a lead record so that when a new lead is being created, it will also check the contacts whether already a contact is existing of the same name and email. Because Salesforce, as I previously mentioned, lead can be converted into contacts and accounts. So the lead may be already converted or something like that. So the lead may be already a contact in the org, so that the cross-object duplication rule checking is also allowed in the Salesforce. That matching rule must be also be active, and the duplicate rules must be also active to show the error. Like you can see the error message here. When the account name and number is same, throws an error that these are already available. These 3 records are already available in the org. Whether we should load this data, or we can save and ignore alert, or we can cancel the record and use that older accounts. Okay, that's all for matching and duplicate rules. Then next is approval process. Approval process. Okay, approval process. When a lead comes into the org, or when an opportunity is being trying to purchasing a product, like the customer may ask for a 30% discount or something like that, but you are allocated only 20%. The 30% discount can be, but it is a very big customer, so you must confirm with your manager whether we can give 30% customer discount to the customer or not. At the time of that, or when a lead comes in, you want to confirm that whether this lead will be approved by the manager or not. That time we can use approval process. Approval process is basically will send an approval message to the user whether whether we can approve this customer's request or not. When the record is in approval process, it will not be editable by the other user. Like other than system admin, other users cannot edit that record, unlock that record. Like you asked for 30% discount and submitted for approval for manager, and customer suddenly asked for a 40% discount or 35% discount. The user, Salesforce user, cannot change it. They must wait until the system admin unlocks the record or approve or reject the records. Until then, the records will not get opened. And the locking of record and opening of record can be carried out in the initial submission action and final rejection action, which will be shown when I create a sample approval process. Now, for approval process, if you are given an entry criteria, then the record must pass the entry criteria to be submitted into that for manager or some users. Like if the criteria is failing, then it will show that there is no equivalent approval process. Like if the user is having only asking for 10% discount, and if you try to submit for a approval process, then it is throw an error that so that there is no equivalent approval process. As the approval process is only needed when the discount percentage is greater than 20. And in the approval process, not only we can select the manager, we can select the customer. There are we can assign the approval to a queue or a user in the record, or the user allow the user to, whichever the sales rep is submitting, the sales rep to manually select the person for approval. Approve and rejection action based on their based on whether the customer approves or rejects, we can select actions to be carried out. Like if it is rejected, the opportunity must be closed last. If it is approved, then it must send an email to sales rep that the manager accepted this your discount rate, like that, so that the sales rep may contact the customer. Data validations. Data validation rule is an important topic in Salesforce. The validation rules are okay. Data validation is of two types. Data validation prevents a user from saving a record. When I try to import the record with the lead record, it showed an error that the first name is record because I created a validation rule. There are two types of validations, data validation. One is standard validation and another is custom validation. Standard validation is like field data type. You can make field data type as number only field. When it is a number only, a currency only field, when you try to enter text data in it, it will throw an error. And if it is made as a record field and previously record lead source is record field in the for lead which I previously loaded. So it is if the data is not filled for the lead source, then it will throw an error. And for unique field, when the field is being created, text field is being created, we can select whether the field need to be a unique field, text or number field. We can select it to be a unique field. If it is unique field, duplicate data are not allowed in that field. If a customer tries to insert the same data, then it will throw an error. Then the sales rep must change the data so that no duplicates are available in that field. Then only the records can get saved. Custom validation rules are the validation rules which are created by the users for future use. Like I can example making the lead first name as record. Order of execution. Validation rules and record fields are in the high level of order of execution. These are the first things to be checked. Okay, when we're clicking save the record, these are the first things will be checked before going on for further process, like sending an email alert or example. I say already we have spoken about Sales Cloud, the Service Cloud. We've spoken about the milestone, assignment rule, and everything. Before everything, this validation rule fires. Once the validation rule is, once the data comes through the validation rules only, the other functionalities, triggers, and everything will fire. The validation rules are mostly used to ensure the correct data formats and prevent data loss and data consistencies. Like if you need a email to be populated for all the contact, we can use a validation rule to make sure the customers enter the valid emails, or if there is no email, then the customer will get an error. The sales rep will get an error that enters the customer email ID. Like that, we can make sure of. This is a sample validation rule. As you can see, if the discount percentage is greater than 20%, as you can see, discount percentage 0.2 is given as percentage. This is a percentage. Discount percentage is a percentage field, and 0.2 equal to 20%. So when the discount is above 20%, it will throw an error. like discount must not exceed 20%. For the validation rule, when the condition is satisfied, it will throw an error. Like a discount percentage is greater than 20, so it will throw an error to the user. I'll show you a validation rule once this is over. When we are using data import or integration, or when you are using data loader and everything, the validation rule still fires. The validation rules apply for existing data also. Like you have created a large number of lead without first name, and you have created a new validation rule that the lead first name is required. If you try to edit an existing record, then the validation rule will still fire. The user must add the first name so that the record can be saved. The changes can be saved. For lookup filters and validation rules are pretty much same. Like validation rules, this lookup data should be equivalent to this values, like that we can give it. Lookup filter, what it does, it minimizes the data and gives it to you. Validation rules, it will simply throw an error that this new lookup field data does not match the criteria. Thank you. And now is the demo of matching rule. In the matching criteria, as you can see, you can select whether you need the exact match or fuzzy. Okay, for example, like company name, you can select that exact match or fuzzy first name, like a fuzzy match. Fuzzy matches like a okay, fuzzy matches nearly equivalent records with some spelling mistake, like that it may be, right? Training and training like a NNG, the customer may enter in wrong data. At that time, the fuzzy match should make sure that that data is also captured. Exact match captures only if the data are matching exactly, and match blank, the email field, if the company field is example left blank, then it will be considered as same. If email is same and company is empty for a first record, and the same email is being entered and the company name is empty for the second record also, then it will be considered as same. If this is not clicked, only if the email and company contains data, and if the data is different, data is same, then it matching rule will get true. Okay. I'm creating a duplicate rule for lead duplicate records. Okay, as you can see, the first thing is record level security. This record level security is that if sales rep 1 cannot view the records of sales rep 2, and sales rep 2 also cannot view the record of sales rep 1. At that time, the user customer is being already lead for sales rep 1, and sales rep 2 tries to create a record. Whether it should check for the whole org, for only sales rep 1, it should check. Sales rep 2 alone, it should check. Because when sales rep 2 tries to create a record, he does not have, when he is searching global search, it will say that there is no Mahendran, as he does not have access to that record. But bypass the sharing rules, allows the sharing rules to check allows the duplication rule to check the whole org. And if sales rep 1 already contains, he'll say that it is already, Mahendran is already a lead to another person. He may not have access to that record, but he can already confirm that there is already a lead of that same type. Actions. These are the various actions that can be taken when it finds a duplicate record. When it finds a duplicate record, we can make sure we can allow it or block it. If it is blocked, then there is no way user could save that record. If it is allowed, then user must you can click an alert message that user will get the alert message like already these duplicate records are available. This action can be carried out for on edit also. Like the user duplicate leads are already available. On clicking and editing the record and editing the name or the field equivalent to duplicate rules and saving it will throw an error. The one thing to be considered is when the duplicate rule is firing for already edited for action and edited record, only if the fields which are mentioned in the duplicate rules got edited, the duplicate rule will fire or it will not fire. Like if the email is same and it should throw an error, but you are changing only the name of the person, then it will not throw an error. This is the default functionality of duplicate rules. So you must, this is the default functionality of Salesforce. So the duplicates records may exist if it is already in the org. Match, we must select which is the matching rule we must use. Like I created the lead email matching rule now, so I'm selecting it. As it is of the same object, it gets automatically populated and get select. You need to check for contact also. We can give, and for contact, you can select different fields if it is available. As only email is the equivalent field available, now it is selecting this. And these conditions are used to check whether the rule, whether the entering data, lead data must be processed to duplicate rule or not. Like if the lead source is true, lead source is equal to web, then this condition must not fire. Like that, we can condition the data that the duplicate rule will not fire when the new record is of lead source web. It cannot check the condition based on certain records already in the org. Like if the record is Mahendran is being created, and only if the Mahendran is in lead status open, we must check it like that. Already Mahendran which was created, only if the lead state is open, we must check that. Like that, it cannot be done. All the data in the org will be checked regardless of the status and everything. As you can see, it already shows for me there is already a duplicate record available, whether you should save this record or not. On clicking it second time, as in the duplicate route, I have action and create, I have allowed it, it fires regardless of it. So it will show on a alert message that duplicates are available, but if I over save it, then it will save the records. Okay, then this is the creation of approval process. Okay. For easy access, I've created using account now as of now. Okay. This is the functionality that if the approval is not available, then who should be mapped to? Who can select the next to be? Who can approve this process? this is an important functionality that initial submitters, like when you're submitting an approval process, the initial submitter is an important person, like who could submit this record for approval process, whether the record owner itself can submit the record or only certain system admin or higher level users can submit it. In this, you can select based on the user or role or public groups. Like, only a public group of person can submit the record for future for approval process. The owner cannot submit for approval process like that. We can do it. This is the functionality I created. As you can see, initial submission action, record lock. When we submit a approval process for initial submission, the record gets automatically locked using this function so that the user cannot access the record to change the data in it. Final approval action, like if the discount get approved, then the approval discount should not be changed for the user. Like if you are getting approval for 30% and the sales rep again try to change it to 40%, it should not be allowed. So once the approval process approves the record, it will stay locked unless and until the system admin, the sales rep requires the system admin to unlock that record so that he can edit that record. Final rejection action. If the record is rejected, the record will get unlocked so that the user can, sales rep can make the changes again and resubmit it for approval. Like if the 30% is too much, like the manager feels, he can reject it. Then the sales rep can discuss with customer and make it as 25 and resubmit it for approval. Recall action is that the initial submitter, the record owner sales rep submitted the for discount 30%, but the customers now accept 25%. So before manager approve it, he must recall that approve or reject functionality. That can be done using this. And this is the important steps, approval steps. These are the various functions. Hi, hello.
Yeah, please.
Sorry, sir, somebody is marking with the red colors. Could you please stop it?
Is it okay?
Yeah, now it's remote. Now it's remote.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. Okay. When the approval is submitted, it based on initial submission action, the record gets locked. In this approval steps only, it will be select whether who are the person to approve this record and who are what should be done if the record is rejected or something like that. The specified criteria, we can make sure every user, every record enters this criteria, or we can make sure only certain record, if the criteria are met, the process should be the criteria are met, the approval process next step will carry on, or it will simply approve that record, or simply you can reject the record also. Like if it is above 50%, if the criteria is above 50%, then simply reject the record, something like that we can do it. For now, I'm selecting all records should enter this step. this is the thing previously I mentioned. For approval, we can select the owner's manager can be made as approver as default functionality here, or we can allow the submitter to select the approver manually. And you can assign it to an approver from a related user shows all the fields in the object. Like in account object, there is a manager field. You can select that field, or you can simply select a user. Let submitter choose the approver manually. Now I'm selecting it so that you can see how it works. When the approval steps carried out, if it is a, you can select the actions to be carried out. Like if the record is approved, we can make sure a task is created with the name. I'm activating this approval process for now. Account source equal to web. Okay. Deactivating the. The R can have multiple approval process also. Based on the order, we'll check which is first, and if the whichever the approval process first meets its criteria, it will fire based on that approval process only. If it is in the order, the approval process in the last, and if it matches the above criteria itself, then the last approval process will never get fired. So please make sure that when the approval process, multiple approval processes are being created, make sure the order are placed correctly, and one approval which gets entered into a criteria, make sure the entry criteria are not equivalent for every records. Okay, for now I'm saving it as phone inquiry and saving the record. When I click submit for approval, no applicable approval process found. So I'm changing the detail to saving it. Okay. As you can see, I have in the approval process, I have selected that the initial submitter must select the user. So I'm selecting this user and I'm clicking submit. As you can see, we have selected this approval process, and in this approval steps, it is waiting to be approved by this user. For now, to easy configuration, I have done it for myself, and I can approve or reject. As you can see, the equivalent task also will get created. As I am a system admin, it allows me to edit these records. But when we are using the other users, standard users, they will not be able to edit the record as the record gets locked, as we mentioned in the approval process. So on final approval, it will get locked that no users can edit it. Only system admins can edit the records now. That's how it works. The system admin nearly has every permission in the org. So even the fields made as read only by in the field level or page layout level can be still edited by the system admin user. This is one of the major things happen for every user. Then next is validation rules. I'm creating a new validation in contact object. And as you can see, you can insert the fields here, which are the contact fields available in the org will be shown here. And you can select that like and these are the various functions that can be done in that, like is blank functionality, and I can add the mobile expression inside field inside it. Like if the mobile phone is left blank, then it will throw an error, and the error message also can be modified here. Like as you can see, I without entering the mobile number, I cannot save the record. For data validation, there is also the function thing that, as I previously mentioned, the data validation rules apply for the older records also. Like if I'm opening the older record without mobile and I'm editing the record, I have made change in the first titleless sample and clicking save. Even though it is a pre entered data, once the validation is set, if the record is being edited, click edit and trying to save it, the only way to do is make sure that data are equivalent to the validation rule to save that record. Even if I save it without title, it will still throw an error. Well, the only two ways is only entering the mobile number or stopping the changes in the contact, which you are planning to do it. And the okay, the validation rule also support parent object check functionality, like okay, this basic validation, what I have done is for that account source, if the account source is not equal to web and the mobile number is blank, then it throws an error. Or instead of using AND option, you can use OR option also. So if any one condition fails, like if the mobile is blank or the contacts account source is not web, then it will throw an error now. Based on the parent object, we can modify the changes. Right. This is the record which we okay. I have not updated the error message, so it's throwing error. So what we can do is we must select only the account approval. As you can see, the account approval has account approval as web source of web. So only this validation rules did not get fired as the condition failed. This is how the validation rule works. The validation rule, as I mentioned, is pretty on the top of the pretty much the first thing to become after the required fields are checked in the Salesforce. So there may be some thing like the mobile number will be entered by a workflow or trigger, something like that, but it is still throw an error as the validation rule is checked first. It will check as it has no values, it will throw an error. And another thing is, if the validation rules fire, if the workflows are triggers changes the data of the validation rules is fired, then the Salesforce accept the new values from workflows. Okay, I'll explain it in detail that. For example, you are having a workflow. It's a pretty much long process, so I cannot show a demo. I can explain it. If you are having a workflow and if you are making the mobile number as blank using that workflow. And you are trying to save that record. First, you will throw an error. You enter the mobile number and saving that record. And the workflow rules also meeting the criteria, then the mobile number will get deleted. The validation rules will not fire. That's how the Salesforce works. The order of execution is a pretty much important thing in Salesforce, which will be covered in the in day for tomorrow. Actually, that is a very important topic. The order of execution. Based on that, the Salesforce functionalities mostly works based on the order of execution. That's all regarding the validation rules. That's all the contents prepared by me. Thank you. That's all the class need to be.
Thank you. Thank you, Vignesh. It was an awesome session. So the data management approval process and validation rule, it's very important. I mean, especially validation rule for the admins. This is like a day-to-day job for you to maintain clean data quality. I think the validation rule is very important. Some of these codes, it might look a little bit, do I need to memorize all those kind of things? You might have some thought like that, but don't worry. So one of the cheat sheet, what I would do is like, there is really something called cheat sheet. For example, SSN validation or EIN validation. You prepare a Google Docs for yourself, maintain it over the period of time. Any good formulas, good validation rule, you keep preparing a very good Google Docs, keep a cheat sheet for yourself. When you do that thing, it will be very easy for you. The first time, it might be very difficult for you to remember and write some formulas, validation rules. But if you write, at least like practice writing 15 or 20 formulas or 20 validation rules, you will master it. And you don't need to memorize anything. It will come on the flow, like how riding a bicycle or swimming, it would come as easy for you. So let me just hold on a minute. I will I'll make the next presenter available.
Mahendran, I think it will be better if you have a 5 minutes break or something like that.
Sure. Let us have a 5 minutes break. Yeah. The next presenter would be like Mr. Prabhakar Murugaya. He's joining the call. Yeah. We'll give a 5 minutes break. Prabhakar Murugaya, Mr. Prabhakar Murugaya, I have made you unmuted you. Are you audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, Prabha, we are taking a 5 minutes break.
Sure.
We'll start your session in next 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Until then, if anybody wants to talk or share some thoughts, please just raise your hands. If anybody is from let us say you're took a like 5 or 10 year break, and if you're looking to restart your career, maybe just ping, let me know. I can make you as I can unmute you. I think Gayatri wants to talk. I can unmute. Gayatri, you can share your thoughts.
Hello.
Yeah, Gayatri, please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks for the wonderful session. Actually, I am a Java developer. I took a break for my kids, and this session has been really wonderful. I have gained a lot of knowledge, and it adds a lot of value, to switch my career to Salesforce. And actually, I wanted to know what's the start point after this 5 session. So is there any job opportunities for junior admin role?
Sure.
Yeah.
I can share your thoughts, Gayatri. Let me unmute you. Let me mute you and talk. Okay. So Gayatri, you are a Java developer, which itself is a very good very good skill that you have acquired over the period of time. Though you have taken break, I think pursuing Salesforce should be a cakewalk for you, because the entire Salesforce product has been developed in Java. it is using Oracle database in the backend, but we never interact with Oracle database. And the entire Salesforce is written in Java. And Salesforce has its own proprietary language called Apex coding. Still, we haven't gone in anything into the development. Salesforce is like a vast. Whatever we are seeing right now is an entry door, which is nothing but administration, Salesforce administration. That's what we are learning right now. Since you are already a Java developer, you can pretty much easily complete Salesforce admin certification, and also you can straight away confidently you step into Salesforce developer role. uh, the Salesforce Apex coding and the Lightning, all those components, everything is more similar to Java. I think that's what I would recommend you. So soon after this course, if you have attended all those 4-day training course, and tomorrow is the last day, if you have attended all those 5-day admin course, spend another 40 to 50 hours, and you go for a certification by in next 30 days. So you need to give a certification. So following that, if you have a legal visa, I think why not you can get a job in next 3 months. So that's it, Gayatri. And please uh, let me know if you have any other questions. So I think Kaveri also. Kaveri, do you wanted to talk? I can make you as I can unmute you.
Uh, Thanks, Mahendran.
Sure,
It would be great if you share any job opportunities link
sure,
if
sure.
you are able to. Yeah,
Mr. Prabhakar Murugaya, he's the CEO of TechFetch. He joined us to help you, to help people like you. He's going to guide you, Gayatri. Okay.
Okay, Mahendran. Thanks.
Sure. Balaji Rajsekhar, I will unmute you. Gayatri, you can unmute yourself. You can mute yourself. Balaji, you can just talk. Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning to everyone. Actually, we want to thank on behalf of all the participants to you guys doing a great job to people like us. Yeah, myself, I am from a banking industry. I have completed MCA and I was completely working for 10 plus years in banking back home in India. Recently, I migrated to Canada on PR visa and just having an idea to pursue my career in technology field. So through my friend, I came to know about this stream from whom I have been attending all the courses. The thing I want to know from you guys is that when I searched in LinkedIn or something like that, for some career prospect job sites, I could not find any fresher jobs. People like a fresher who is looking for an administrator role. So, is there any kind of opening for the freshers to start with initially? I just wanted to know from you guys. Thank
Sure,
you.
definitely. In the next session, Mr. Prabhakar Murugaya would be explaining about the job availability, the trend, where we are going, all those things. He would definitely explain. And there are a lot of other people like Kaveri. If you wanted to, Mr. Prabhakar Murugaya will tell about your question. That's what I wanted to tell.
Thanks.
So, Kaveri, do you wanted to talk? Okay, so let me unmute her. Okay, fine. Let me, without further delay, let me just introduce Mr. Prabhakar Murugaya. Let me give a few just introduction about him. So Mr. Prabhakar Murugaya is based in Virginia, and he's a chair for ATEA Washington DC chapter. He's a founder and CEO of TechFetch.com, a tech jobs platform with thousands of tech companies and 1 million tech workforce. One of the highlighted achievement is his venture Silicon Valley Tech Park in Tirunelveli to create jobs for socially, financially, or physically disadvantaged rural workforce. Prabhakar Murugaya is an inspiration to a lot of people, including me. So we welcome Prabhakar Murugaya. He's a CEO of TechFetch, a job portal site. He's going to share some of the insights post COVID-19, how people can shift their career, and also how people who have taken break in their career, how they can restart their career. He's going to share his thoughts. And Prabhakar, do you wanted to share some content or? Hello, Prabha. Yeah, Prabha, I have unmuted you.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
do you want to
just
share? You want to share some thoughts? Okay, please.
no presentation, but I'll give a quick rundown over the phone. Good morning, everyone. Glad to be here. I know we are all going a lot of difficulties, but challenges. But every challenge there is an opportunity. I'll give 2-3 background information and how that can help you to get into new job or opportunity. First thing, the job market is going to be completely different than what we have seen so far. It's moving forward. The way we are predicting, we get anywhere between 100 to 200,000 jobs per year. So we have the pulse of the market. Predominantly, we work on the consulting and contracting industry. So we know the latest technology, the change in technologies. We are the first one to see it. In my view, there will be a huge unemployment. The problem will be more for visa dependent candidates. And then right now, the contract jobs are the one first to go, but that's the one to come back first also. So the contracting workforce will get laid off quickly. And when the market opens up, first they will hire contractors and then convert into permanent employees. So be prepared for it. That's the first input. Second input is there is a change in or a shift in technologies and skill sets. As of now, we are seeing a lot of cloud migration. You already know that, from AWS to Azure to Google, everybody's going to cloud. The cloud is, as of now, only 30 to 35% is cloud modernization happening. That cloud modernization is specific to infrastructure modernization. Basically, companies who are having data centers on their own racks and everything, now they are moving into cloud to optimize the infrastructure. That's the first phase that is happening very fast. Still, it's a long way to go. The next wave is actually application modernization on the cloud. What does it mean is, say example, whatever the current legacy systems and everything, rather than moving to the cloud or already moved on the cloud, will be converted or redeveloped using native cloud applications. So which is a redevelopment. In that phase, rather than redeveloping a lot of application with the new technologies and tools, what is happening is anybody who's moving now from legacy to cloud, they directly go to SaaS applications. One of them is Salesforce. There are, if you see any SaaS application like Salesforce, Pega, or SAP HANA, or Oracle HCM, Workday, ServiceNow, APN, there are a lot of cloud tools are converted or used to modernize the legacy to the new systems and technology. So you are in the right space, especially Salesforce is the one which is projected to grow 100% in next 3 years. From now to next 2-3 years, Salesforce is on the top for every SaaS products. They are the number one. So whatever the number of people we have now, we probably need double the number of people next 3 years. So you are learning the right technology and tools. In terms of job opportunities, I probably will say there are more developer opportunities in Salesforce than the admin opportunities, but I'm not exactly sure in a very specific in terms of, you can go on Google and search jobs on the market and see what skill sets are mostly asked or what kind of, is there admin or developer, something like that. One addition to that specific to Salesforce is certification is a mandatory and must. If you want to get into a job, probably certification will help. Even though you do not have a lot of experience, companies are open to take trained workforce. So those are in terms of opportunities. I'll take few more, in a couple more minutes to give a little more in-depth information. When we come out of this COVID, we are projecting 40% of workforce will be flexible workforce. Either part-time on-site or part-time off-site. So the more and more opportunities are coming in the remote and flexible workforce. Even with that remote workforce, the predominant demand is going to be SaaS tools and products. Why? It's very easy to give somebody to work from home or remote in the sandbox without giving an enterprise data, without a lot of restrictions with the consumer data and other things. So SaaS products and tools are equipped to work remotely. Plus, it's easy to give a sandbox for somebody to work and then integrate that customization into a new product. Number one. Number two, a lot of SaaS products and tools are consumed by smaller companies or SMEs too, not only enterprises, even small companies, especially Salesforce. There are a lot of non-profits are using, they do have free licenses. So if you know any non-profit who are using Salesforce, you may ask them to give you an opportunity to work part-time, even for free. You are giving back, but by the time you can learn something. So a couple of people already asked, okay, I don't see any opportunity for freshers. Yes, there may not be many opportunities for freshers. There are opportunities for freshers also with some certification. But if you have some other experience, any other domain expertise, somebody mentioned that they are in the financial industry. Those kind of people are likely to get hired, even if they do not have real-time experience in Salesforce. However, take this opportunity to work for some projects, either for free or take a pay cut to gain that experience. Whatever you have learned, you need to have real-time experience to gain. Maybe 1 year you will work for lower salary, but you can cover that over the period of next 2-3 years. So these are my specific inputs. There are entry-level opportunities in a lot of SaaS tools. Take this as an opportunity to learn, but contribute who are working with some projects, some small companies, but give them either take a pay cut or work free to gain that experience. So those are my recommendations. I'll take a pass, and then Mahindran, if I have time, if anything specific you want to add, I will add. One last thing I would like to add. We are working with companies to help place these trained people. I will work with Mahindran and Andy and see if some of you that I can help you to make a placement. We can work on it, but feel free to post resumes on TechFetch. That may be an opportunity too. It's techfetch.com. We are a US specific, US dedicated job board.
Yeah.
Mahindran,
Thank you, Prabha. Thank you, Prabha. So now one more just small request. I have unmuted Mr. Dayanand Kuselan. He's the president of Delaware Tamil Sangam. He wants to share just like 2 minutes thought to all of you. Dayanand, you can just talk. Hold on a minute. Just give me a minute. Yeah. I've unmuted Dayanand Kuselan.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. I am president of Delaware Tamil Sangam. I heard from Mr. Prabhakar that if anybody wants to join and implement Salesforce for a non-profit organization. Yes, Delaware Tamil Sangam is a non-profit organization, and we are planning to implement Salesforce. If anybody is interested, please send your email to info@delawaretamilsangam.org. Maybe a 5-people team we can set up and have you guys practice.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, Dayanand. Please put your email ID in the chat box so that whoever is interested can contact you. Thank you, Daya, and I'm muting you.
Thank you for giving this,
Thank you.
giving that information.
Thank you. So once again I thank Mr. Prabhakar Murugaya for sharing his thoughts. I'm sure he's going to help us with a lot of his insights. So we'll closely work with Mr. Prabhakar Murugaya, Mr. Giri, and a few other ATA members in helping few people to restart their career and also to switch their jobs. And also thank you, Dayanand, for offering to implement Salesforce for Delaware Tamil Sangam. And if anybody wants to contact Dayanand, you can just, we'll put it in the chat, info@detamilsangam.org. You can contact that email ID and you can be part of the 5-member team and they are implementing Salesforce for their nonprofit. So without further delay, I will invite Kanmani, who is a 5X certified trainer. She is going to talk about, today's session. She would continue, like Kanmani, I will make you a presenter.
Thank you, Mahendra.
Yeah, please, the session, what you're sharing, like reports and dashboards, that's what Kanmani is going to give. She has done like a lot of very cool stuff using, for the COVID-19 tracker. She has prepared an analytics report using Einstein Analytics. Towards the end of the session, she's going to demonstrate the thing. I'm very much impressed with her work, Kanmani's work. And she has put a lot of efforts in making this training program an effective one. And thank you, Kanmani. And please share your screen.
Thank you, Mahendra. So could you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Thanks. A very pleasant good morning, good afternoon, good evening all. So my name is Kanmani. I'm working as a business analyst in Softsquare. So I'm going to handle the next module is reports and dashboards. So this agent of this module is nothing but reports, how we are going to build a reports and dashboard by using a report formats, different kind of formats and standard custom types, everything. I'll be showing a live demo as well. So what is report? Reports or a list of data that allows you to aggregate and analyze your data in a different ways. So there are two types of reports. 1 second. Let me scroll down. Thanks. One standard reports, another one is my custom reports. Standard reports are nothing but pre-built template. I can make use as like a template. So standard reports will be mostly stored in standard folders, and we could not able to override or delete the standard reports. Also, I can do a customization, but if I did a customize, I can do as a save as, I can create it as a custom report. So a custom report is nothing but in the name itself, we can understand. We can create a report as per our requirement by using a standard objects or a custom object, or even I can use my standard report as well. So custom report I can be overwritten and also I can be deleted. So next is report formats. There are 4 different types of formats available in a
Kanmani, hold on a minute.
Which is
are you showing what is the screen that you're demonstrating? What are reports, right? Standard and custom reports?
Yep.
Okay, please go ahead. Yeah, because the screen is coming very slowly. Now only it's showing the report formats. Yeah.
Okay. So is it fine now?
Yeah, please just after you change the screen, give a pass and then just go very slow. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So report formats, there are 4 types of report formats. One is tabular, summary, matrix, and chart. So I'll be defining with a tabular. Tableau format is the simplest and fastest way to look at data and similar to kind of a spreadsheet. You can see this looks like a very similar my spreadsheet. The column is nothing my fields of my Salesforce object, and the rows is not records available in a particular object. So next format is my summary report. So if you see in a summary report is very similar to my Tableau report, but this report allows grouping of row level data. So I can do a grouping in a row level that I can call you as a summary report. Next format is my matrix. So matrix report is moreover similar to again a summary report here, but I can group both the row level as well as a column level. If you see here, I am grouping with a row level with a stage, and I'm grouping with a column with a product family. You can see stage is a pick list having a value like a prospecting. In opportunity, we have a stage field, right? So it will be having a values like prospecting, value proposition, close to 1. It's a pick list. I'm grouping with the row level, which is nothing but a summary. And when I'm adding a group, row level, sorry, grouping in a column level, it will be in a matrix format. So product family, I'm grouping the column level. So this is how the matrix report looks. So next report format is my joint report. So joint report contains data from multiple standard or a custom report type. We can add reports type to a joint report if they have relation with the same object or a object. Mahendran, is my screen is going proper, or is it slow?
Yeah, you are in the joint report. Yeah, please.
Yeah. Thanks. So for let's take one example for a joint report. My client is asking me a question like, I want to see account with open cases. In those scenario, account is one report type, and case object is another report. I want to make it as a single report. I don't want to create a multiple reports. In those scenarios, I can go with a joint report. If you see here in account, this account block I took from an account report type, and case block I took from the case report type. I'm combining a 2 report type in a single report, which is called my joint report. I'll be demo this when we go for a live demo session. So before going to a report type, I continuously using a word called report type, right? So what is report type? Report type is a starting point for creating my custom report or standard report, because whenever I want to create a report, I have to mandatory to choose my report type. So again, report type is classified into 2 types, standard report and custom report. Standard report is way, again, it's like a pre-built template. I can make use of my standard report type. So here they will be related with the standard object relationship, and either I can build with the reports, and also it include the standard objects with the standard fields and the custom fields. Custom report is again, we are going to create based on our use cases. Either I'll be create a custom report type using a standard object or my custom object, or combination of both. So next is we are going to build a reports and dashboard. So in this part, I'll be taking a scenario. So in which scenario we are going to use a reports and dashboard? Usually we have the kind of question in our mind, right? So when we have to jump for a report and dashboard, I'll be walk through a next slides, and I'll be walk through a demo with a kind of one scenario, which is nothing but I have on a simple scenario like Volkswagen has a question about its sales. So let's consider our customer as a Volkswagen. So Volkswagen is using a sales process, my Salesforce. So here we are going to monitor how, I'm going to gain insight how the process is going in a Volkswagen. So Henry and Maxwell are my salespersons guys. So they are going to gain insight on our sales. So I have a couple of questions. My manager have a couple of questions like, what are all deals we closed this year? How much did we close this year? Who are all my top sales people this year? What percent of a total business did each person close? How much did each person close each quarter this year? So these 5 questions, one of my team, Henry, has to answer for these 5 questions. So if in the place of Henry, he don't want to go to the particular opportunity, don't want to counter records, just he can create one report. In there, he can apply some kind of filters and logic. He can bring out the solution for these 5 questions. So for solving these 5 questions, we are going to have a building plan. Like first is I have to choose my report type. As you told you like earlier, if I want to create a report, I need to choose my report type. So we have to figure out which report type we are going to choose. That is nothing but we are going to choose a corresponding object. So in this case, I'll be walk through with the report type as well. So in this use case, we are going to use opportunities as a report type. Also, we have to figure out which are the columns we are going to make use in the report types, and we have to filter it. This is my first stage. Once I done with my first stage, have to navigate for a next stage. That is either for this kind of 5 question, whether I have to go for any grouping level in either row level or a column level. Once I done with my second level, have to jump for a third level. I'll be play with my aggregate functionality. If I do want to apply any kind of formulas in my report level, have to go for a third step. A final is nothing but instead of showing a report to my manager, I can present him in the way of visual part. So he can easily see that, okay, this salesperson A has closed a one highest, this person is closed very low. He can understand in a just looking into a simple way of visual representation is nothing but my dashboard. So let's walk through with a demo. So for creating, before let me create a report. First we will create a custom report type. So creating a custom report type, have to navigate to a setup. So in a quick find, type like a report type. So click on report types. So let me give a continue. So just click a new custom report type. Here I have to choose my primary object. Generally for creating a report type, I must use like a relationship object. So here I have to choose my primary object, from which scratch object I'm going to build a relationship. So here I'm going to play with, say, let's take like account. I'll be choose my account. I'll be give a name. You have to give a report type name. Let me give account with opportunity and properties. So I'm just copying the report type label and be placed as a description. So store in a category. In a report type, we do have like some category, like a kind of folder, in which particular folder we are going to save our report type. So I'm going to choose my report type here. Let me choose account, or let me choose like opportunities. Make the deployment status as a deployed and do a next. Here you can see this is my primary object account. From the account, we are going to derive a 3 more objects. So there is a restriction. We can build a report type only for 4 objects. So I'm going to select my related another object, which is related to my account. So let's click here. I'll be choose my child object. I will go with the opportunity. So there is a 2 option. Either A record must have at least one of the B record. If I want to choose, if I choose a first option, in a record, that means in a means account object. Account object must have at least one opportunity record. In those scenario, I have to choose a first selection. If second is nothing but A record may not or may not have related to a B object. That is, account may or may not have an opportunity record. So I will go with the A. That is the first option. I'll be select the next a child object for my opportunity. I'll be go with the properties. Click next. I'll be select one more object. Let me take activities. So you can see the object limit reach. That is, we can create only 4 related objects. I'll be do and save. So we have created a report type. So check the report type whether we have created or not. We have to navigate to our current object reports. Let me go to a report. I'll click new report. This is my report. I'll be click a new report. When I'm clicking a new report, my system will ask me to choose a corresponding report type. So here we can see my report type. So in opportunity folder, we have stored our custom report type, right? Let me search for a account with opportunity properties, what we have created as a report type. If we choose this, only we can relate it with the account, opportunity properties, and activities object, and its related fields will be listed out at it. So for our use case, let me navigate to these 5 questions. I'll be go here. For this 5 question, I'm going to use my report type as something opportunity. Let's go with the opportunity type. I'll be create a new report. So click on new.
Kanmani, it's taking some time to load the report screen.
Yes, Mahendra.
Yeah. Okay.
So now this is in a report, choose report type, right?
Yeah, it's coming fine.
Yeah. We choose a report type as opportunities. Click continue. Hold on a minute. Let me close this particular. Mahendra, give me 1 minute. Let me check my network.
Sure, Kanmani. To just until Kanmani comes, you'll really have fun doing reports. Any reports, you would have ample time doing like 2 to 3 hours to do some cool reports like summary reports, matrix reports, or joint reports. Sometimes you will even get some time during your Scrum. You will take even a day to complete a report because that will have like so much complex thought process. You need to create a lot of formulas in order to generate the report. And some of the reports you can even could do quickly on the fly, even in a meeting. So the reports are the one which will really excite the upper management and your the VP or any upper level management people. They really look forward for reports and dashboards. So Kanmani, is it fine, or do you want some time? Okay. Otherwise, Kanmani, other thing, I can load the screen and you can talk. Is it okay? Hello?
Yes, that will be better.
Yeah, you just tell me which report should I.
Hold on a minute. Okay, go ahead. Let's stop share.
Okay.
Or
Sorry
else
for
give me a
the.
minute. Let me try with this. No problem. Give me 1 minute. Let me try with this. If not, we can share your screen. Yes.
So sure.
But then it's loading. Yeah.
Sorry for the technical challenge.
Let me stop sharing my screen. Then could you please share?
Yeah, I'll share the screen. Okay. So we are in the same org. Okay. Let me go to one of the report.
No. You don't want to go to a new report. Just click on a new report.
New report. Yeah.
New report. Yeah. So choose report type as opportunity.
Sure. Opportunities. Okay.
Yes. So click on continue. So we are going to have Yes, here I want to sell something. So initially while you're clicking creating a new report, you will be loaded with some default fields available in your objects. So you can see like a owner role, opportunity owner. So these fields are sometimes we don't need, right? So we can remove these fields like either at three ways there. First is I have to navigate, go to a column. Can you go to a column, Mahendran? Just click on X button under the owner role. Yeah,
Owner
that
role.
that
Yeah.
is one way. Yeah, that is
Remove column.
way. Yeah,
Can I
remove
remove?
column. Also in a, yeah, you can remove this.
Yeah.
Also in a left panel, you can see column, a search in a left panel. For up, yeah, here I want to say one thing. So you want to preview the update, you have to enable the update preview automatically on right side corner.
Okay, let me do the thing. So,
Yeah.
okay.
So next, go to a left side column panel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, close some of the column. Just click on a close button. This is also another way you can close the column. Any column. I'm not going to use all the columns, Mahendra. You can close all the things as well.
Oh, you can remove the columns in the report.
Yeah. So there is another way you can click under the near the column. No, go to a column in a left
Oh,
panel.
yeah. Okay,
Click
I
on the
got it.
drop.
Okay, I'll remove some of the fields. What Kanmani is saying is, what are the things that I can remove? Can you tell me?
No. Also go to a column in a top header of a column. There is a drop down, right? Just click on drop down.
Yeah.
Yep. Remove all the columns. I
Okay,
don't
I
want any
removed
column. Yeah,
all the
remove.
columns. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So here we are going to add 4 columns as for the record. Depends upon my use cases. First is my opportunity owner.
Opportunity.
Either here this way we can add as Mahendran showing like a search field. Here I can drag and drop opportunity owner, or else just you search in a column by Mahendran. That could be easy. Just click on a column. Yep. Click on opportunity owner.
Okay.
Next, add like a close date. Close date. Amount. And one more thing, a stage. So these 4 fields are required for achieving this use cases. First, we are creating a Tableau format. You can see I've chosen only the 4 columns, which is opportunity owner, close date, amount, and stage. So here I'm going to group my row level. First, I'm going to make it as a summary report. So if I want to make it as a summary report, just have to drag and drop my opportunity owner on a group rows. Mahendran, can you drag and drop the columns which you see under the opportunity owner? Yeah, just drag and drop in a row level. Just
Group
drag
by
and drop.
this field. Group by this field.
Yeah. This is also one way, but we can show you them a very easy way. Just drag and drop. That is also another way.
Okay. So group by remove the group. Let me remove the group again.
Okay.
Okay. I will add the opportunity owner once again. So there are 2 ways that you can do the group the column. One is like you can just group by this field, and the other thing is tell me the other way, Kanmani.
Yeah, otherwise, can you stop share? My screen is my network is good. Mahendran, I'll be walk through that.
Yeah.
Thanks for this. So let me add my fields, opportunity owner. I'm going to add close date. So amount and stage. So I'm going to group in a row level. So what I'm going to do, I'm just dragging my opportunity and owner and I'm placing it. So once I grouped in a row level, I can say this is my summary report. I'll be run this report. You can see I summarize row level. So there are 2 users. One is admin, another one is my training admin. So admin having like 17 records and training admin having like a 15 records. So let me edit this. So next I'm going to group column level. I'm going to make use of my close date. Just drag your close date. and paste under the group column. So now you can see I grouped in a row level as well as in a column level. So I don't want to show like day wise or a date wise. So here I'm going to make a filter again in a closed date. I'm going to represent in a month wise manner. So for that, I'll be click on my drop down. Group by date, I'm not going to use a day, and we are going to use like a calendar month. So here for my first use case, let's you see, I want to show this. Let me go for a question. Mahini, can you put mute from yourself?
Yeah.
I'm getting an echo. Thanks. So here I'm going to show who are the persons close this deal, right? So for my team have to show that. So I'm going to my filter. So here I have to apply my filter. Here I'm going to show you can have like all opportunity. Show me whether you have to see like one your opportunity records or your team's records or whatever. So you have to choose on here. And here I'm going to close my date with a current physical year. You can have a range also. Either you can choose like a current physical year or all time means start from your and create periods. So I'm going to custom physical year and let me do a apply. And opportunity status, we are going to check only for the closed. So I'm going to change my stages like let me go for closed and I'll be applied. So now we can see admin 2 has closed the one, closed the opportunity of count this like 8 counts. So it's cost like a USD. So next I'm navigating my outline. Here I'm going to apply, this is a kind of amount, right? So I'm going to apply my there is another summarize. Either you can summarize your column wise with aggregate functionality like sum, average, max, min. So for this use case, we are going to use sum. Let me do apply sum and I will apply this. So once we're done with this, we are going to write some kind of formula. So filter out how I want to calculate a percentage of group level. So for admin, how much a percentage you're closed in this particular deal. So for training admin, the user, how much percentage you're closed this deal, so that I can figure out of these two users, which user is sold the opportunities highest and which is a very low. So I have to follow that. So for this scenario, I'll navigate to my filter. Before that, let me go here. 1 second, let me click under this, add summary formula. So we are going to click on the formula here. So this is we have, if you want to apply any formulas, we can go for summary row level as well as a column level. So we are going to use a summary level. We have a like a percentage of deals. My data type is of number. My decimal is a 2. I don't want to give any description. Let me move my size into 90. So here I'm going to apply my formula, which is nothing but sum of amount. You can choose your field. I'll be put this, just drag and drop. Or make it as an insert. Divided by, I'm going to use some formula here, which is pre-val. Go for. So here I'm going to copy this functionality. or else copy my formula here. Let me go. Let me take this formula. Edit. Missed. Column. Let me choose my row level grouping, opportunity owner, and column level grouping. I'm choosing a grand total. Let me go for a general. I'm creating. Let me validate now. Let me apply. Now we can see automatically my system will create one row level some row level field, which is for a percentage of percent of deal. So there it will be populate the values for each user, how much percent they are closed or want for this particular year. So you can see percent of is like a 33% he closed this deal, and 67% this particular is closed this deal in this current physical year. I created a form and I'll save this report. So click on save. I'm going to save this report on my corresponding folder. Either you can store it on a private folder or a public folder, or you can create a custom folder here. So let me name this deals one this year. So let me give store. Save it in private folder. You share the screen, I'll be through. I'll be stay with public folder. That could be better.
Convenience, I think your screen stopped sharing. The screen was
Yeah,
stuck for last 2.
sure. Can you share your screen so that I can walk through the?
Sure. You want me to share the screen? Okay, fine. Yeah. Yeah, please go ahead.
So I'll be creating. Yep. I'll be save it in my public folder so that you can access once again, Mahendra.
Sure. I'll access the public folder, public report.
I'll
Which
rename deals. I'll do a save. Yeah. Can you refresh your folder screen so that you can see the folder deals under the all reports?
which report
Can you share
value?
your screen?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
no,
seeing
shared it on my.
all folders, deals. Okay, deals one this year.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is the report Karmani has created. So this is a summary report, right, Karmani? Mat
This is
matrix.
a bank report.
Matrix. Okay, please go ahead. Yeah.
One second. So next, once you're done with the click add chart, you can add a chart as well. So here we can see the group level summary calculation for my percentage of user, that is 42% and is 58%. So click on chart, we can add a chart in a report level as well.
Yeah. So just clicking on
So
the
it
chart.
can
Yeah.
make use of chart. Yeah. So just click on, let's say there is a settings, right? So I can change my chart widget as well. So you can choose any widget. So probably for a singular kind of grouping, we can go for a column level bar or a vertical level bar. So we can have it like a column, and you can make it as a save.
Yeah, let me put the chart title as yeah, I saved it.
Yeah. Uh, So now we have created the reports by using a summary as well as matrix format. I've shown you like a 3 format as well. So now we are going to make use of this report in our dashboard, showing a visual representation. So for this thing, I have been navigate to a dashboard. So we can also export. Mahendran, can you hold on the screen? Yeah,
Yep.
run the reports.
Yeah, please.
Yep. So we can export my report as well. So just click on run.
Yeah.
So go ahead. So under that we can export as either CSV format or a XLS format.
Which one? XLS format, right?
You make it as XLS and do export.
Sorry, just give me a minute.
Mhm.
Sorry. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Do you see my screen?
Yes, Balaji. As you asked a question, can we email this report to any of this NARC? Yes, we can do that. So this is how it looks if you export a reports. And next we can navigate to a dashboard. Mahendran, can you close this?
Yeah. Which one you wanted to go?
I want to go to my report builder. Yeah, hold on here. So now we are going to make it as a visual representation. That is nothing but our dashboard. So we are going to create a multiple widgets there in my dashboard. So go to a dashboard. So before going to a dashboard, I'll be show you like how we are going to schedule this report. Just click on edit button behind it.
Yeah.
Yep. Click next to this. No, I just close this particular what is it, the tabular image. You can close it there. I don't want this particular chart in this report. You can close this.
I can close this. Okay.
Okay, you can click a subscribe. Yep.
Okay.
So if you want to subscribe, you want to make it like a automatic run. So you can also schedule like a daily basis or weekly basis or monthly basis. If I want to make it as a weekly, on every Monday, I want to schedule this report, means I can choose a weekly, and you can choose a Monday as a day. And you can choose your time. Also here you can edit your recipient, your profile. In your company, you may have users, right? You can choose a users or row level or role level or a group level. So and close this.
So
So
you can
also there is another functionality.
schedule your report daily, weekly, monthly using this condition to any of the recipients, so that it automatically comes as an email. Okay, good.
So close this. So we are done with the reports. Also we seen like how to schedule the reports, also exporting the reports. Now we are navigating with a dashboard. I'm going to create a new dashboard. So click on a new. So dashboard is nothing but a visual representation of your reports. Whatever the reports you have created, I can make it as a visual representation by using a chart on my dashboard widget. So name it like deals closed this year for dashboard. Okay. Create.
I'm choosing the folder as public or all, which folder you want me to choose?
Create a new folder. Yeah, create a new folder in the name of deals and make it as a save. It will be accessed for the public. So select this folder. Yep, we just select this folder. Yeah, great. So we have created a dashboard here. So here I'm going to add my components. So in a dashboard, I can add my report as a component. For creating a component, I've choose my report. So we have created one report, which is deal one this year. Choose that reports. Yep. Select. Yep. So for first question, I'm going to make it as a tabular format. Click the edit button on a deal. Close this one behind it. Yeah. Click this. So choose your tabular format. So here I'm going to do some kind of grouping here. So under the grouping column, select like opportunity owner. Just search like opportunity owner. Scroll up.
Okay. Some.
Yep. So yeah, next column level we are going to sum wise. Make it as a sum. Yeah. So in a column level, choose like grouping with a close date. Measure columns. In there, you just choose search like close date. Close date, not close hand and close date.
Okay.
Just remove that column. Yeah.
Just give me a minute.
Yes, Mahendran has access. Balaji asked that whether I'm created a folder, so that's why only my Mahendran can access because I create in a public folder.
Which one should I hide it? Hide record count, right?
No, you don't want to hide it. Just add a close date in a column. Yep.
The measure columns, right?
Yes. Would you able to check there? Close date.
No, it's not coming.
Close date.
Some other field you want to
so
choose?
I'll leave the okay, let's leave it behind and just scroll down. Scroll down. Yep. Here I can set my theme. Either a light means as seen your back, like a background as a white color. If you want, make it as a dark, make it as a dark. It will be in a dark background theme. So make it as update. Just update. Yep. So I added a component. So by using a same report, I'm going to create one more widget with a different type of chart. I'm going to use that. Click on add. Choose the same report.
Is there any constraint to choose the same report once again?
No. Just click on the report hand and that's enough.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And you'll be get a select. Yeah. So here we are going to make use like a tabular form. Next is like a gauge format. If you see like a second row, third, yeah, gauge. No, yes. So add a group. We are going to sort a column based on amount versus. 1 second, scroll up, go slowly. Yeah, sum of amount. Here I'm going to make it as a descending order. So just scroll down, scroll down. Yeah, set the range here.
Set the range.
Hold on a minute. Oh, segmented ranges. For second column, make it as like 1,000. Here I'm under the segmented ranges. You have a color codes, right? For second, type like 1,000.
Okay.
I'm setting the range, and yes, go ahead. Next for 2,000.
Okay.
Hold on. Keep like a we keep like a 50,000 like for first column. No, we don't want 10. Make it as a 50,000 for first column. First column that is like 1,000 instead of 1,000. Make it as a 50. 5 and 5 zeros.
50,000.
Make it as a
100,000.
Yep. And make it as a 15.
500,000. Okay.
name it as a for name you just make it a closed one this year. For title, no title, no minor you're editing in a custom link. Yeah, under that make it as a title like a closed one this year.
Closed one this year.
One this year and add.
Oh.
So make it as a dark theme. Scroll down. Yep. So next widget we are going to add like a bar, horizontal bar. Just drag this close one and make it as in a second column. Don't click a deal. Just click on a report name. That's enough.
Okay. Report. All report, right?
Drag and drop. Yeah. Just click on deal. Deal one this year. No, don't click the deals yet. The deal one this year. Yes. And click on select. Do a select.
Report.
Yes. Here we are going to use a horizontal bar. So yes, go for y-axis with the opportunity owner. Just scroll down. Yep,
Okay.
make it as an opportunity owner, and the x-axis make it as like a sum of amount. It is there, and scroll down for display unit. Make it as a whole number. There is a sorted number, right? So make it as a whole number.
Full number. Okay.
Okay, and title as give like a sales leads dashboard, or make it
Deals
as a
one.
sales deal. Okay, so make it as a sales leaderboard. Sales leaderboard.
Sales lead.
Leader, Leadr, leader, leaderboard. So and make a theme as a black, dark, and oversize. So we are going to add more. Just drag this widget and make it in a second column.
Just give me a minute.
Sure, Mahendra. Leave there. That's enough. So add one more column. Yeah, one more component. We are going to make use of donut. So click on deal one this. Okay. Do a next and choose a donut. And 100 scroll down, show percentage, select the checkbox show percentage. 1 second. Yeah. So next, name it as a title like percent of term total.
What is it?
Percent of term total. So choose a dark theme and save. So one more widget we are going to add, which is nothing but stack bar chart.
Just give me a minute. So it's the same report we are putting in multiple flavors.
Yes. So yeah. So choose on your deal. Yes. So for based on the 5 questions, I'm creating a 5 corresponding widgets. So
Stack horizontal bar
last one
charts.
is like a stack horizontal, not star. Okay, make it okay. Stack horizontal bar. So choose your y-axis as a opportunity owner. Yes. Next is x-axis is sum of amount. So go with stacked by. Hold on a minute. There is a one more column. Just scroll up. No, scroll up. Scroll down a little bit. Scroll down.
Sum of amount and
Stack
close it.
Stack by is an opportunity owner, not a closed it. Make it as a no stack by third column. Yes, make it as a opportunity owner and name the title as a deal won by quarter and owner.
Deal one by
Do
quarter.
one by month. Make it as a month. Deal one by month and owner.
Okay.
So the theme is a black. That is dark. And make it as a. So for corresponding 5 questions, we have created a 5 corresponding widget. If you run the dashboard, save the dashboard.
Just give me a minute.
Sure.
You can run save.
Save. Yes, done. So you can see the dashboard with the same report. I'm visualizing with a different kind of filters here. So first column, first widget is showing like a Tableau format, which is showing a deal won this year, only 2 opportunity one. That is only I'm having a 2 user. So in this user, admin 2 sold closed 1 record is at 13 and training admin is at 12. And sales leaderboard, I can see how in which particular month they have closed this deal, the count is increased. I can see in a sales leaderboard. And deals won by month, I can see like a stack wise. So which is admin 2 is increasing, the count is like April it is less comparing to in April. For training admin user is sold in a higher quantity. So this is how we can represent in a dashboard visually to my corresponding sales manager. So I can run the dashboard dynamically as well. So if you scroll up, again you scroll up. Yeah, there is a subscribe button, right? So same thing. If I want to run dynamically, make it as a subscribe. I can choose my day basis or weekly or monthly. I can choose my time slot as well. So automatically it gets, automatically gets refreshed according to this time, and you can do a save. Also, I can send this email to my email corresponding my user. So I can add my recipient under the send email. So do a save. So we're done with the reports and dashboards. So I want to add one more thing. In Salesforce standard dashboard, we can make use of like a static. It's kind of like a snapshot of your reports. So as Mahendran said, we are designing like dashboards instead of going a dynamic, instead of static, we are using a tool like a platform called Einstein platform. This current situation like a COVID-19 is a hot topic, right? So we are building on dashboard on Einstein platform. Once again, I'll be open my screen. No, we are not published. No, we are not published. It is in our app. Let me share my screen.
Okay. So to just add few more thoughts. So though the reporting capability, the Salesforce reporting capability is there, and we have the dashboards. I personally, having worked in Salesforce for 10 years, this particular dashboard will really like only like 10% of the expectations it can meet the customer's expectation. Your business owners. In order to have like more good analytics report, you need to use Tableau or Einstein Analytics. That will have more very creative dashboards that you can generate using those specialized tools. So this particular dashboards, whatever company have showed, yes, this can satisfy some of the needs, but not this. I would not say this is the best. So Salesforce Einstein Analytics and Tableau, those are all the Tableau is again Salesforce product, and Einstein Analytics is a different analytics platform, which company is going to talk more about it. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Able to
No.
Now?
Yeah. So this is nothing but the company has generated an Einstein Analytics report. She has done a world COVID-19 tracker using the like Einstein Analytics tool. So I think this is phenomenal. And she is still doing like they are going to release it in a week's time.
So we are planning to publish. Why we have to go for Einstein Analytics? Usually I just say one more point here. So if your user want to interact with your data behind the screen, behind the dashboard, probably we need one analytics tool. Either we can go for a Tableau or Einstein. So Einstein is a Salesforce product. Here I want to add one more point. Let me present. So if you see, I'm getting the data from the Postman API. So we are getting the info, that is open resource data. So we are getting the data and we are storing in a Heroku database. So suppose you may have a data in your third-party tools like a SAP or database or Oracle database. You want to interact with Salesforce. So in those scenario, I'll have a connector in a Einstein. So I'll do a connect between the Salesforce and the SAP database or Oracle database. I'll be fetched the data from that particular database, and I'll be started doing a data set, and I'll be represent as a dashboard over here. So what we here did is we can't able to store it in our Salesforce arc, so we stored in a Heroku database, and we shared and we are starting data set, and we are getting a dashboard. This is a dashboard we are done the Einstein tool. So this is a dynamic. I can play with the dashboard, so user can interact with this. If you see here, this corresponding home page is represent the COVID-19 tracker of device. So if you see the color representing light to dark is mentioning the confirmed cases from low to high. So US, obviously we know the US is the highest countries affected with the COVID. So let me click this. So based on that, the count is differentiate in confirmed, recovered, disease, and I have 4 column in the top bottom. So in US, the confirmed cases is like 9,000. More than like a 9, and recovered case like something around 78,000, and this is like a 1 lakh and active. So hold on a minute, it's just reloading.
So we are using the public data using Postman API. So we are loading in a Heroku database, which is again Salesforce proprietary database. So those are all a little bit advanced, but what I mean to say is the pinnacle of Salesforce reporting is Einstein Analytics, and you can do very cool stuffs like this,
Oops. It has to dynamically change. We are designing in a currently in a still in a progress. Once we're done, we will publish that in a public course. So here you can see according to our select the country, the values is changed here. So let me scroll down. So here you can see this particular widget is explaining a day-wise active case. So the currently in the US, the count of a day-wise confirmed cases keep on increasing. My chart access keep on increasing. Day-wise confirmed recovered date, you can see this is also continuously increasing. So same thing if I go for a China, if curves is started to flattening. So usually we heard the word flattening whenever the news or something they will talk have to maintain a curve as flatten. Why? Because whenever a curve start making a flattening means we are we are breaking the chain of a COVID-19. So in India they started maintaining the curve as a flatten. So the curve is the confirmed that means new cases with COVID-19 has been stopped. Only the persons with the already previously affected, they only have the active cases. Either they can be recovered or they can be dead. So they started to maintain the curve on a flattened basis. So this is a homepage design. Also, we have further tab like per million and like daily wise count and additional insight. So once we publish in officially, we will give a link so you can walk through here. You can play with this link. Just it is like a user interactive. You can play with this. So, we done with this. Thank you, and
Yeah, thank you, Kanmani. I personally like this, and for few of the people, who are techno-functional, I would like to suggest you to pursue Einstein Analytics, because the more you do analytics report, you would be closer to the top management and few key decision makers. They like to see everything as a charts. So please pursue Einstein Analytics if you have a very good analytics background, and even few of them who are expert in Tableau, they can as well consider Einstein Analytics. So next is we have like few more advanced topics which I would be presenting. So let me share my screen, and we'll have a Q&A after then. Thank you, Kanmani, for your explaining about the reports and dashboards. So let me present.
thank you, Mahendra.
Okay,
Thank
fine.
you.
Okay, so let me put it in the. So today we are going to look into some of the advanced topics. So we are going to look into custom label, custom metadata, custom settings, global search, single sign-on, and deployment. Sorry, actually I was supposed to take this session tomorrow. That's why I put day 5. Today is day 4 still. So these are the advanced topics that we are going to look into it. First is custom labels. So custom labels are custom text values up to 1,000 characters that you can create in Salesforce. You can access these custom labels through formulas, through workflows, Apex classes, and Visualforce pages. So we haven't looked into the Apex classes and Visualforce pages, which we will look into it in the when we do the dev sessions. But this let me show you. Custom label is something like you can use it for some help manual or anything. You can put some descriptive character which you can access it in formulas or workflow. Okay, and custom labels can be translated in any language that Salesforce support. Okay, and to access custom label in Aura components, again Aura component is a lightning framework which Salesforce use. We would use this kind of a notation, dollar label. That's how you refer this custom label. Okay, and again it supports multilingual. For example, you can define some help text or error message using the custom label. For example, let us say you're doing a dynamic screen. For that you need to do some kind of an additional coding. Whatever you the page layout, standard page layout, all those things, those are all out of the box. Still Salesforce supports custom Visualforce pages, custom lightning component, all those things you can say. In that you wanted to define some kind of an error handling message. For example, you wanted to give a message, please enter end date greater than start date. Okay, when you wanted to give that message, you can define that error message using custom label. Okay, so who would create that custom label? So it's a job of an administrator, and you can use custom labels in several places. Like you can refer it to the formula, workflow, in then some of the Apex classes or Visualforce pages. So you can create as many as 5,000 custom labels. A very big implementation will have even hundreds and thousands of custom labels, and it is like multilingual. You can even say it in Tamil, Hindi, or any language, whatever Salesforce supports. Okay, and where do you find custom labels? You can go to the setup and you can find the custom labels. So let me just quickly go to the custom label. So I've created one custom label. Like in order to go to the custom label, just go to the setup. So only the admins will have access. Whoever has access, only they can go here, and you can search for label. You will see custom labels right here. So creating a custom label is very easy. The definition, everything is right here. But where to use, how creative to use this thing is a challenge. So I created a very simple custom label called welcome. So what I have just put a simple message like value. I just put it as like welcome to Salesforce training. It might look very simple for you. So that is how this is what custom label is. You put a description, you make it as a productive component or something. You can put some category to categorize your labels, and you can put some content. You up to 1,000 characters you can put. You can create as many as 5,000 custom labels like this thing. Yeah, please. Yeah, tell
Sorry
me.
for disturbing you. Only PPT is being shared. They are saying their Salesforce page is not visible.
Oh, sorry.
For me also.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, shared only the PPT, not the whole screen. Sorry.
Okay, let me share the whole screen. Do you see my screen label?
Yeah, now I can see it.
Okay, so where do you find the custom labels? You can go to the setup by clicking this gear icon, and you can click on custom labels. And I've created one custom label called welcome. In the welcome, you see something called welcome to Salesforce training. It is a very simple thing. You can put like 1,000 characters. You can put it in this box. And this particular this is the name of the custom label. You can use it in formulas, coding, several places. So one of the label could be something like please enter end date greater than start date. Please like make this field as mandatory. Please make priority field as mandatory. You can give any kind of a labels, and it supports multilingual. Okay. So where I'm using this custom label, I'm using it in the for an example, I'm just using it in the employee object. So you remember I have created a formula called full name. I've created a formula called full name. If you see here, this is a formula. So here I'm just using using this label. I'm referring this label. So let me just remove this label and just tell you how I can add it. So this is how the formula used to be when I did it last time. Okay. So if you wanted to use a label, just go to this edit screen. And let me put an ampersand symbol. Or I wanted to put it in the beginning, like I wanted to include a custom label. Insert field. You can go to organize. Sorry, you can go to label, and you can include this welcome. Insert, and I'm just putting something like a concatenation string. So I'm just copying and putting a concatenation string. So this might be a very simple, just like a hello world kind of a thing to tell you what is custom label. So welcome Mahendran Sundaraj. That's how it is going to refer like this thing. Okay. So I just made this change. Let us go and now look how does it look like. Okay. How this label looks like in the Salesforce. Let me go to the ATEA training app. Employee. So it just gives the thing, welcome to Salesforce training, Mahendran Sundaraj. The welcome to Salesforce training is nothing but it is coming from a label. You can still have it as a kind of a string in the formula, but what I mean to say is when you do this a custom dynamic screen using Visualforce or Lightning component or anything, this plays a crucial role in giving some kind of an error messages. You can define error message, you can put some help text using this custom label. So this is one of the job which administrator does. Okay. So let me go to the next screen. See, I might say very simple in a descriptive thing, what is custom label. I might have just displayed a hello world kind of small example. But the way you implement, you need to be very creative. And you know the functionality, you need to use it in the right place in a much effective manner. Okay. Next is custom metadata. See, metadata means like, Salesforce is entirely metadata driven because nothing is static. Everything is referred as a kind of through some API names or something. There is no hard coded kind of a thing. For example, metadata means, for example, the objects, field API names, everything is metadata. So labels, everything is a metadata. So custom metadata enables you to create your own set of objects whose records are metadata rather than data. This means, for example, you wanted to give Salesforce as a package to a different company. Okay, you wanted to give Salesforce as a package. You have compiled Salesforce as a package. You put it in the app exchange. You wanted to sell to somebody. When you wanted to give your own custom object. On the top, you wanted to give some kind of a data, master data. So for example, master data means, for example, you wanted to give some standard master values, for example, part number or whatever it is, some predefined values. You can give along, you can package along with the custom metadata. You can give it to your customers. So this are typically you can application configuration. For example, you might have seen a lot of configuration in the Windows, in the Linux. There are a lot of configuration settings are available. You can create those things as custom metadata, and you can package it and you can give it from one environment to the other environment. You can give it. Okay, you can do this custom metadata. So rather than building apps from data records in custom objects or custom settings, you can create the custom meta types. See, you can even still create a custom object and you can put some data. But when you package it, you cannot pass it to your customer. You might need to do like data importing, all the such things. So if the necessity is not there, then why to create a custom object? Rather, you create custom metadata and you can able to package it, deploy it, and upgrade it. And again, it doesn't count against any of the social limits. circle limits. For example, in Salesforce, as I told, it is a multi-tenant environment, and it has like a lot of limitations. You have like a lot of governance rule, and you need to use it in only in an optimized fashion. Okay, so this, when you use custom metadata, it will not count against the circle limits. So when you wanted to package something, and there is no necessity to create a custom object, rather you can create a custom metadata. Okay, it's very simple. And let us go on. This is a Trailhead link. I'll share this presentation. You can see how I can create the custom metadata. Again, where do you go? You go to this setup. So hope you see my screen. Vignesh, you're seeing the screen, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing the screen. Now
Okay.
you're going to.
Fine. So I'm going to the setup. I'm creating meta. And you need to know where to use custom labels, where to use custom metadata types, all such things. Okay. So here I've created something called discount settings. Okay. And always the API name it will be like underscore MDT. This is the API name it used to be. Okay. And let us go and see what is this discount settings. Okay. So this is same like an object. Doesn't it look similar to the custom object? Yes, it is very similar to the custom object. But there is a difference. Why I need to use custom meta type and why I need to use custom objects. If it is a transactional data, use custom objects. If this is not a transactional data and it is something like a master data, and it is only like if the admins are using, and it is only very limited data, and if you wanted to package it, give it as a custom metadata type, and it will not be counted against the circle limit in the governance rule. Here I have created a custom label name, and I have created two fields called default discount and minimal spending. Both, one is a percentage field, another is a number field. And there is a page layout also. You can see like this is similar to custom objects. So let me, it's creating all those things is very simple. Okay. If you wanted to create another field, you just go and create new, and you just, but it doesn't have some of the things like lookup relationship, all those kind of things. But there is something called, you can relate one metadata to the other metadata. It doesn't have some of the fields like what the field types, like what the custom object has. Okay, these are the limited fields that field types the custom metadata is having. Okay, so you can create, it's very simple, you know. You can just go there on the job, you can learn this, how to create a custom metadata type. So let me see what the values I have configured. So I have configured something called, let me just also add an extra field. Okay, default discount. Okay, these are the fields that I have. Okay. Again, you can create a view for this custom metadata type. So I've created, don't worry about this name prefix. The label is bronze, gold, and silver. For the bronze, the discount is 0, the minimal spending is 0. And for gold, the discount is 15%, and the minimal spending is 5,000. For the silver, default discount is 10, and minimal spending is 10,000. Why do we need to create custom objects for this thing? No need. Absolutely, there is no need. Only if it is like only like a couple of rows, and if this is a master data that you wanted to package and you give it as a custom metadata type. And this will have a prefix suffix called underscore MDT, and it will not count against the governance rule, circle limits, and you can query this thing and use it wherever you want it. So hope you understood the need of the custom metadata type. So it will have, let me show the next screen where with the pictorial representation, what you will understand. So this is how you create custom metadata. Okay. So the screen will tell you the custom metadata types. It will have both definition and it will have records. And you can send from one org to the other org using this custom metadata type. Okay. The next topic is custom settings. There is a similarity between custom metadata and custom settings. You know, these are all interview questions. So what is the difference between custom metadata type and custom settings? You can clearly say that the custom metadata doesn't, it has only like definition and data. Custom settings only have the definition. So let me go to the next screen. So I wanted to create country and state. You wanted to create a country, state, and a zip code list that you wanted to create. For that, you can use custom settings, but it doesn't have some kind of a data. It has only like a definition kind of a thing. The next screen, if you just go here, this has only like the definition. You can send it to the organization. The records, it will not be sent to the organization. When you do the deployment, only you can send the definition. Okay. So use the custom settings to create and manage custom data at the organization specific to your profile and the user. So it has two types of custom settings, hierarchy and list settings. Okay. Again, this is another interview question. And this custom settings data is stored in the cache memory. That means you can access it quickly, faster. Okay. And you don't need to do any repeated queries when you use the custom settings. And you can access this custom settings from a formula fields, Visual Force pages, API. In all the places you can access this custom settings. So custom settings, it is just used to create and manage custom data specific to an organization. Okay. So next screen we have seen what is the definition like. It doesn't have any kind of a records. Okay, let me show you one custom settings that I have created. So where I created is settings. So here we are just seeing only the like from the admin point of view, how to create custom settings, custom metadata, all those things. But you know, the application we will when we take the dev session, we will go more detail into the how we are going to use the custom settings, custom metadata, all those things. So I created a very simple custom settings called country. Just creating is a very easy. The definition is right here. So I've created a custom settings and I'm just going to the manage. So I just put some sample values like Chandru, Exton, Peter, Albany, New York, zip code. This is a custom settings list that I wanted to create, and this list is specific to an organization. So you might think, why do we need custom settings? So this is nothing but you can create. This is just a sample example that I have put. You can create your own custom settings and you can use it wherever you want. So this is a 4 records, 4 rows that I have created, and I have just you can always go here, edit it, change it, and you can add it. Like this, you can have like more and more custom settings. Let us say you wanted to have a combination of country, state, city. Either you can use pick list or you can even use custom settings, and you can use it wherever you want. And you can create it specific to an profile. When you create this particular custom settings, when you create the actual definition, let me go to the custom settings. When you go to the custom settings, you can create a list or you can create a hierarchy and you can make it public or protected. So this is how you will create the custom settings. Okay. So basically you understand, take the concept as you can create a list and you can store the data specific to an organization, and you can create custom hierarchy or the list value using this custom settings. Okay. Next is global search. So global search is like, again, Salesforce supports global search. So everything is a pre-built, you know, just imagine doing a ERP application using .NET or Java. There is really no fun in creating menus, creating screens, report builder. We should not reinvent the wheel. So Salesforce is a pre-built, everything preloaded with all these functionalities on top where you are doing the building the solutions. Okay, so creating the solution is more important than creating functionalities. Okay, so global search is one such functionalities where you can give a keyword and you can able to search within all the Salesforce objects. You can use search operators like and, or, not, all those operators that you can use. You can do wildcard search, and you can also use quotes to narrow down the unique search criteria. You can almost search any object, any field, it will go and search in Salesforce, and it is much faster. Unfortunately, I didn't put something like you cannot search certain fields. I didn't put it here. Maybe Nixon can correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you cannot search pick list and the date fields, that you cannot search it in Salesforce. Am I right, Nixon? Praveen? Okay, you cannot search search certain fields. Let me just show you. Just hold on a minute. How do we go to search? Go to the Salesforce admin application, ATEA training admin or anything. In the top, you can just put it something like United. It will say search in all the accounts, all those things it will just give. When you click it here, it will give you the list of all where you can able to search all those things. And you can search specific to each objects. You can refine, you can do all such kind of things. And you can also put United, or you can do all such kind of things. Or you can search Mahendran, or so it will search all the list, and it will give you the top results as per the operators that you wanted to give. And when, let us say, when you wanted to narrow down, use the double quotes, and you can put something like let us say you put something like it will search and give it in whatever the criteria that you put it. Okay, so this is a global search. And one more thing I forgot to tell, so whatever you're seeing is a lightning version, and you can always switch to Salesforce Classic. You know, when we all started before 10 years, we never had lightning version. This is the old skin. This is the the older classic version, which is defading. I mean, nobody is using classic. Everybody, almost 2017-18, lot of Salesforce migration happened from classic to the lightning. So whatever you're seeing is a Salesforce classic version. So when whoever is building right now Salesforce, they all build in lightning version. And still some people, they continue to use Salesforce classic version. So you can always switch from Salesforce classic to lightning. So there was a big budget to migrate from Salesforce classic to lightning. So whatever you have seen in the top right now, that was a search all. It is a very simple. You will learn on the fly what is global search. So this is how a screenshot. So next is single sign-on. So you all might have got Salesforce username and password to log into the Salesforce application. Is that the only way to log into Salesforce? No. You don't need to remember your username and password. So you are all working in big corporates, big companies, MNCs. So you might have Windows credentials. So that is the only password that you'll use to log into Jira, log into Rally, log into any different applications. You will use this your Windows NT credentials. Okay. Even in Salesforce, you can use your NT credentials to log into Salesforce. Okay. So we can configure single sign-on in order to authenticate users in Salesforce.com from external environments. Okay, and also you can one such thing is you can use federated authentication, which is a single sign-on method that uses SAML assertion sent to Salesforce endpoint. So federated authentication is one type of single sign-on method which uses SAML. SAML assertion. SAML association, that is one type of authentication method in order to log into Salesforce. So basically, single sign-on is nothing but you can use your NT credentials to log into Salesforce. So the authentication happens in your NT things that will send some response to Salesforce, and it will allow you to log into Salesforce. So as an administrator, you would coordinate with your NT, your Windows. There'll be something like, we were using a product called SiteMinder in my previous project. They were using some SAML sign-on settings. You need to discuss, coordinate with a different team. You need to implement the single sign-on by just providing the entity ID, who is the issuer, and you need to upload some certificates, self-generated certificate, and you need to put some this kind of settings. So when you configure this thing very well, your single sign-on works. This is the only place, and you need to make some settings to the profile and permission sets in order to enable the single sign-on. You can do such a way that only for certain profiles, single sign-on should work. You can make that such a way that, like that, See, a lot of people, when we implemented Salesforce in 2014 or 15, daily we used to have like forget password. Even now, a lot of you guys have giving reset my password, such kind of a things. A lot of tickets, support tickets we used to get. But the moment you use single sign-on, it is very easy. Nobody needs to remember username and password. They need to use the single sign-on credentials. And when somebody is terminated or somebody's employment is over, when they switch off their NT credentials, automatically the Salesforce login is also taken care. Okay. So this is the screen where you need to configure. You will, the moment you become a Salesforce administrator, you will definitely work with a different team, and you will put the appropriate settings. You need to entity ID, all those things. That's how I learned. It took a week for me to implement single sign-on. I was coordinating with a different team. And sometimes when you refresh the sandbox, your Salesforce single sign-on settings in the sandbox will wiped away, and you need to again talk to the team, and you just make some adjustments. All those things you need to do, but you will definitely enjoy the single sign-on implementation whenever you're doing it. Is like it will take 2-3 days time for you to implement this particular task. So the message what you need to take is, in order to log into single sign-on, you can use your NT credentials, and you will need to coordinate with your, you don't need to do all these things. You will coordinate with your team, a different team within your organization, or you will use a third-party product which can do the SAML assassin, and you will fill all these configuration parameters. Okay. Next is the most interesting deployment part. Okay. Salesforce has multiple different environments. You will not do all the development in your production org. You will do it in your own developer box. Okay. Let me show the next screen. So this is one such development process where every developer will have their own developer box. Let us say there are 50 developers. You will have 50 developer boxes. Every developer will do development in their own box. And they will do some kind of a deployment using some deployment tool like GearSet, or using the Salesforce deployment process. Every day, whatever the changes they are moved, they will move to the integration environment. Mostly integration environment, they call it as partial sandbox, where it will have partial data. So they will move to this integration environment. Okay. Integration environment, you can when multiple people does their configuration settings, they can test it in the integration environment. Okay. And from the integration environment, you can move to the full copy sandbox. In the full copy sandbox, it will have identical data as production. Every month, you can able to refresh the full copy sandbox, that is the UAT environment. You can refresh it from the production. And the integration environment, every 5 days you can refresh. It will have only the partial data. And there is some size limitations for the developer box, integration environment, full copy, all those things. And this is an interview question. When you take Salesforce certification, they will ask how much space, how frequent you can refresh, all such kind of a things, at least like 2-3 questions on this development process. See, there is a specific title called Salesforce Deployment Manager. But they need to know CI/CD, the continuous integration, continuous development. Maybe if you learn an additional tool called GearSet, and if you're a little bit well versed in GitHub, your job is to just deployment. It's really interesting, commanding role in an organization. So your job would be to deploy the Salesforce. You will really enjoy that role. Like that, Salesforce security admin, Salesforce administrator, Salesforce deployment engineer. For that, you need to have different skill set like deployment process, GearSet, or GitHub, learning all this such kind of things. So this is a simple development process. Okay, but that could be much complex. You can have like a different kind of an process that you can even set as per your organization. Okay. Next is, unfortunately, the org what I have is a developer edition. I cannot show the live deployment process, but believe me, the way I learned deployment is very interesting. When I joined the first job, I don't know how to do deployment. I called Salesforce customer support. They explained me how to do deployment. They taught me within like 20 minutes. And one of my colleague who is attending this conference, he did a single sign-on. He just accidentally he got into Salesforce thing. So he did the Salesforce single sign-on just talking to the customer support. It took a week for him to implement single sign-on. So same way, Salesforce deployment, it is very easy. You'll have two different organization. From one organization, you will connect to the other organization. You will send outbound chain set from one organization to the other organization. From developer sandbox to production, you will send an outbound chain set. So let us say you wanted to move something from production to the sandbox. That is very rarely we do. I have did it sometimes, extreme cases, but that's not the best practice. You can move certain configuration from, let us say you wanted to move certain configuration from full copy to your dev box. You can do the inbound chain set from there to, from your full copy to your dev box. You can do the inbound chain set. Okay. What all you can move? You can move, you created a custom object, you created a custom field, custom metadata, anything, whatever the chain sets, reports, dashboards, you name it, you can do. Every sometimes you are every 2 weeks, one day you used to spend time doing the deployment. And again, you need to list down all the things, apps, objects, reports, what all you did it. You can need to list down, you need to prepare the chain set, all those things you will do the deployment. So this is how you need to configure in your production or sandbox, whether to allow the inbound changes or accept outbound changes. This setting is very important. You will learn this how to do it, or when you join a project, it's already this or all will be pre-configured. But if it's not there, you might need to do the settings. Okay, you need to do it in every box. Allow inbound changes. For example, normally in production, you will do this settings like allow inbound changes. Okay. Next is outbound change set. This is how you will the screen, you will go click next new, and you will create the outbound change set in order to send it to the production org or anything. Okay. So you will pick and choose the components. Maybe I don't know if I have the screenshot for it. When you click new, you can choose the list of apps, list of objects, all those things, and you can add to the change set. So let us say in the inbound change set, in the production side, when you create a chain set, it will take a couple of minutes for you to get the chain set from full copy sandbox to the production. You get a chain set called update order using triggers. So let us say this particular chain set has like couple of triggers and couple of Apex classes, all those things. You will click on this particular chain set, and you will, if you need to run some specific test cases, you will run the test cases. If it doesn't have any kind of an Apex classes, you will click default, and it will run a process, and it will tell you how many components are deployed, how many Apex classes are deployed, and it will give you some kind of a code coverage. If it fails, if there is a contradiction, it will tell you for so and so reason it is not, it is failing, and it will also, it needs to meet the code coverage. 75% minimal is the code coverage. Again, it is an interview question, and if it is succeeded, it will give validate succeeded. Okay, deployment. That's it. So deployment, so you will learn it deployment is a very easy process. All what you need to do is you need to have a very valid production org where you will need to have sandbox and production. It's very easy to learn. Sometimes deployment really, it will give you hard time. You need to sit hours and hours to debug something if you didn't follow best practices and if it has some kind of a bugs. Okay. So we just completed the deployment process. I think let me we still have some more 5 minutes time, so we are done with this session. So if somebody wants to talk or have some questions, we can just discuss. So thank you. I think we are left with one more day of Salesforce admin training. Tomorrow is going to be most interesting. So we'll announce the, we are going to look into more of a workflow. That is the most important thing, workflow, flows, how to create field updates, how to do field updates, and some of the advanced topics that we are going to look into it tomorrow. Let me show you what are all the things that we are going to look into it tomorrow. One such thing is process builder. Process builder is most interesting thing. Without doing any kind of a coding, you can able to do the you will today you have looked into the approval process. You will look into some of the process builder and the workflow rules, workflow actions like email alerts, field updates, outbound messages, all those things. You will look into it. Tomorrow you will look all those kind of things. And again, Salesforce is very vast. Nobody can teach the entire thing, and even I doesn't know the entire thing. Still I'm learning. Trialhead is the best way to learn everything, and not everything you would be using in your project. Everything you will learn on the like as and when you on daily basis you will learn certain things. Okay. So I think Setu wants to talk something like, yeah, let me unmute her. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
This is Sharanya.
Sharanya,
yeah, actually, I worked in that IBM tool for like an ASP BPI background. Will that come in this like B2B process, like you told, inbound, outbound, that will come in the business kind of thing? Will it come Salesforce or? I want to ask that because I'm very much interested in.
Again, your question. Let me repeat your question. You worked in IBM tool for
B2B tool, yeah.
See, deployment is a kind of a process. It's a process in Salesforce where you move your change set. For example, in SAP, we call it as transport management system. And in your conventional Java or anything you used to deploy using this FTP tool or some different process, you will do the deployment process. In Salesforce, we call it using this change set. Change set.
Yeah, business process.
Yeah, it's a process that you will follow.
The business process. Business process.
I don't know if I mean the right thing. Deployment is a process in Salesforce. It is a maybe there is a new role evolving called Salesforce deployment engineer.
Sharanya, no. It is the process of moving from development to real environment.
Yeah, development to real environment. Okay, fine.
Okay, and I have another doubt. Like,
please go ahead. Sharanya, go ahead.